Hello world and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about 3D printing and how it could essentially change the world. Now 3D printing is interesting because you can print a lot of different things and it could very well be useful in many different applications, such as maybe building a house, printing smartphones, computers, and so on. And although a smartphone is a computer, if you can print stuff like that, printing this stuff may be faster than our current manufacturing methods of these devices. And even for somebody at home, when you buy something online, instead of waiting for it to come in the mail or so on, maybe if you had a 3D printer, you could print it and have it then and now, or at least however long it takes to print. And it is interesting, and 3D printing technologies have been around for a while, although they did gain more popularity a little after 2000. Although we did have seen 3D printing even long before that, although the technology was expensive, big, and not something practical for the consumer because of its price. Although the price since then has dropped dramatically and still is, so 3D printing may become a more viable option and make more sense for consumers fairly soon, especially with that price dropping, which makes a lot of sense. Now 3D printing, I heard about somebody who was building a house using 3D printing technologies, and apparently it cut down a lot of time that it took to build this place. At least it will anyways, and it's interesting to hear that, but my only question is, if you can print a house, essentially, is the build quality going to be as good as a house built with conventional methods, conventional building methods, such as, well, I think you know what I'm talking about. Now, if it isn't equal to or better than that, then why bother? If the house, if it can't stand up to the test of time like our houses of today can or have, then why bother building a house that's cheaper and isn't going to last as long? Although in the long run, companies may make more money off that. It's not good for the person buying the house if it's going to be falling apart in 5 years. Now, if technology is better and the building quality is better and the houses and anything else you may print with a 3D printer ends up being better than what we're already doing, then yes, sure, go ahead. But then again, you also have to think about price there too. If it's more expensive, then they're going to have to raise the price of the products they're selling, and then that kind of impacts the consumer. Prices. Let's say you print a phone, and before the phone without 3D printing may have cost $300, and with 3D printing, let's say it costs $600. So if that raises the price, then that's another issue. But like I said, 3D printing, the price of that is dropping, so that may not be too much of an issue over time when 3D printing really gains popularity, which is probably going to happen in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I think, looking back at today, 10 years from now, I think you'll really see that, 3D printing has taken off. Possibly. It may not. But, like I said, you can buy something online and print it. So that kind of cuts down to, the having to wait for mail, like I said. You could print many different things of, manufacturers of smartphones, computers. If they use 3D printing and it made the manufacturing process quicker, they can manufacture more products and then sell them. And if it wasn't more expensive, and if it was actually cheaper in the long run, they could possibly lower the prices. But that's probably not going to happen. If the company can make more money and keep the same prices, they're going to do that. But it could definitely help companies out by making more money, assuming the technology is cheaper than what they're already using. Now, it really is interesting. I think it really could take off. Whether it could change the world or not, it may actually change the world. Because if you can change how almost everything is manufactured, from smartphones to houses, well, I guess houses are built, not quite manufactured, but TVs, even simple things like bikes and furniture and all that, if you can find a way to even 3D print that, it really changes things. Although I haven't heard about anybody 3D printing furniture. That could happen eventually, you never know. You really have to think about the future in that aspect, and I think that really ties in with the name of this YouTube channel, Future Tech Ideas. But it really is an interesting question. It's really hard to answer. But obviously you could print things like jewelry as well. So you could print a necklace almost, and that does sound a little weird when you think about it. Because then you wouldn't have to go to a store or buy it online. Because then you'd have to, you could easily print it. However long it would take, I don't know. But in that case, I think the quality would drop too. You could go right now to a store and buy a necklace that has gold in it. It's all gold or whatever. But could you 3D print gold? I'm not sure on that one. If you can then yay. But if you can't, then the quality drops, and then what's the point? If you want a gold necklace, then how are you going to print that? Then you're going to have to go to a store or buy it online, have it shipped to you or something. But it's really an interesting question. It's very, very hard to answer. But I do believe that it could change the world, because if it changes manufacturing processes, it can change a lot of things across the board. And I definitely think that 3D printing could definitely change the world, and it makes a lot of sense, really. Anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Future Tech Ideas. Follow me on Twitter at CK270, and check out our website at futuretechideas.com. And make sure as well to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment on this video as well. Interaction is definitely one of the biggest and most important things to see from our reviewers, and especially the biggest thing you need to do is share these videos, get the word out about us, and let somebody know about this video if you really liked it, because that really helps out this YouTube channel. It really helps out our website and everything else that is related to Future Tech Ideas, and it could really help us grow. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.